gather to sing. There are always people who should be here who are not here. Standing in this hollow square, we may be reminded of the absence. In part, this is an empty space waiting to be filled by those who are not well enough to travel and those who care for them. When I was training to be a hospice volunteer, we were given an exercise. It was a sort of guided meditation. In this exercise, we were asked to write down the 10 most important things to us on slips of paper. They could be people, activities, principles, whatever we wanted. Of course, singing was on one of my slips. We closed our eyes, and the leader described a path leading into the forest. We began walking down the path. Mine was a beautiful verdant path in the Canadian Rockies, where I'm from. After a time, it started to get dark. I tried to turn back, but the path was hard to see, so the only choice was to move forward. Shortly, I came to a stream. I had to cross this stream, but it was hard. It wasn't strong enough. The leader called out, "Set aside one of your slips, one of your most precious things, and your load will be lighter, and you will be able to cross." So I looked at my slips, and I chose one that didn't hurt too much to let go of, and I crossed the stream. A few minutes later, it came to a steep incline, and the leader said, "Let go 2 more of your slips, and you will be able to move forward on your journey home." Now I was starting to understand the purpose of this activity. By the end of the journey, I was standing in the cold darkness, facing my home with a warm light inside of it, just across the way. The only way to go inside was to let go of the last thing that was the most important thing in my life. Through life, perhaps we encounter hostels along our paths where we can stop and rest. We may become ill and need to temporarily put aside some of our most precious people and activities. And if we are persistent and lucky, we will have the strength to find them again and to continue our journey full laden with life's joys and responsibilities. These are the names of our friends and family who had to put aside their singing slips this weekend. Jarrell Davis from Illinois, Catherine Glatter from Massachusetts, Ethel Struby from Virginia, and Alan Jabor. There are other people missing today. People who will not return to sing with us again. They have set aside their final slips, or perhaps had them stolen away too soon, before really even getting started on the path. But they have gone in out of the cold, and they are resting in front of a warm hearth. When someone dies, we grieve in 2 ways. First, we mourn the loss of that person, the beautiful person, who otherwise could have been sitting next to you right now. Second, we mourn the loss of the version of the world that contained that person. Each of us who lives in this moment has potential. We shape the world around us. We love, we create new life. The dead are still. They no longer have potential. And it is perhaps more difficult to grieve this invisible loss, the loss of what might have been. The songs we might have sung and the meals we might have shared. The stories and memories that will never be created. Like many singers, I came to this music during a time of grief. My first husband had just died, and I was beside myself. I was bereft and broken. And this music called to me. Not just the words, which helped me come to terms with my grief, but all of you. The community that accepted me as I was. Bit by bit, the doors of my broken heart opened, and the music we made together flowed in to fill those gaps. Your voices gave me strength to imagine and then to build a new version of the world without the person who was taken too soon. I like to imagine that the house I saw at the end of my path is filled with warm, gently glowing rooms for all the people I've lost. Few of the rooms are already taken, more than I would like, and I know that more will fill up because that's the way of life. I nurture this house at the end of my path because even though it's not my home yet, it will be one day. And all those people I love, they'll be there waiting for me. There are those among us today who grieve for the people whose names are on this list and for others. Let us raise our voices together that we may fill the cracks in their hearts with the mortar of our song, so that they may have strong foundations on which to build warm houses of their own. These are the names of the singers who have passed in the last year. Betty Happ from Pennsylvania, Oliver Kindig Stokes from Pennsylvania, Charlie Darteth from Missouri, and Henry from New York City, Mary Mullen from Pennsylvania, Prentice Page from North Carolina, Lorraine Boyer from Ohio. Please open your books